Yo, what's up, guys? So I just want to make a quick video on the progress I've made with the computer. So as you can see here, I added this orange part, and this is my poorly made if statement. So it goes all the way over here. It's really simple. It just takes the two displays, it redirects them over here, and this is just two, or I guess they're just XOR gates just stacked. And for those of you who don't know, an XOR gate takes two inputs and gives one output. It's like a logic gate. And how it works is it will output a 1 if one of the lamps are on. So if we have, here I'll show you guys right here. So if we put in a 1, as you can see, the signal escapes. And if we put 1 here, signal escapes as well. It outputs a 1. But if we have 2 on, it outputs 0, and if we have both off, it outputs 0 as well. I actually labeled these signs so I don't forget. So we have not equal to here, and we have equal to here. So I also have a not equal to part, which literally just reverses the function, or I guess reverses the output. And you guys may have seen this over here. I added an input function here. So it's really right now it's just really just makeshift. It's not permanent, just for now, so I have an easier, just easy access to it, so I can easily input numbers. But in the future, I will hook it up to some external, I don't even know, external part. But for now, it's just me inputting whatever I want. So I have actually prepared some code over here, and it is just a really basic number guessing game. So if you guess the number right, it outputs a 5, which is 101, and if you get it wrong, it outputs a 11. A 3, which is 011. Now, the if statement was really interesting because how an if statement works is you usually have the if statement, right, and then under it you have lines of code. Now, in languages like Python, you signify that by doing indents, right? Or if you're using Java, you include it in the little curly brackets. But as you can see in Minecraft, you don't have any indents or anything. So what I ended up doing was I made a code that would first find the if statement. So how the if statement works is you compare the two numbers, so you display the two numbers like I said earlier, it checks if they're equal, and then what it does is it actually, if the if statement's true, it outputs a 1, and if it's false, it outputs a 0. And what it does is it will actually output 1 or 0, and it will go back around, it'll be memorized into the system, into slot 0. So, but whatever, I know it's a little inefficient, but it's the best I've got so far. Now, it will store it in here, either a 1 or 0, and then I have another function that will check that slot. So how it works is it checks the slot, it says, is it a 1 or 0? If it is a 1, it literally does nothing, it just skips the next problem, or next step. But if it is false, what it does is with it I give it a number to skip to, or a certain step to skip to. So if it finds that it's false, then it just skips to the step that's after the code. Again, I have to manually input the step, but it will basically just skip all the code, quote unquote, under the if statement. So this is just really simple code. You load your number, which I made 01010101 just for simplicity, so I can remember it. And then we have our input here. As you can see, it's these 4 bits down here for my function, or for what function I'm doing. So I have 1010, so 10, which is going to be my input function. So it's basically saying input into slot 2. Then this checks if it's equal, so it calls the equal function, or calls the if function, and then checks if they're equal, and then these are the slots, so it checks slot 1, slot 2, and then this is the check I was telling you about, so 1001 or 9, it basically checks, so was it equal, or was it true or false, and if it was false, it skips slot 7, if it was, or step 7, if it was true, then it just does nothing. And now we have this code here, which it loads a 5 into slot 3, it displays slot 3, and then it skips back to the beginning, skips back to slot 2, to the beginning. Slot 1. And then we have Here, this is what it skips to. So if it was false, it would skip out here. And what this would do is this would load a 3 to slot 3. It will display the slot 3 and then jump back to the beginning. So this is just a really simple number guessing game. Okay, so now let's run this. So I just have to flick this lever. Okay, great. So now let's put in just anything I want. Let's put in a 7. And then you have to click the button to input it, and there we go, a 3. So what that means is it is false. It's not correct. The number did not match. They were not equal. Now let's try putting in the actual number. So if I were to just do this, then let's unlock. Oops, I guess I'll just leave it like that. But now we're going to unlock the code. We're going to wait for it to switch to our input. Yep, so we have 1010. I'm going to input, and then it should have a 5, so 101. There we go, 101. So, and that is just my really simple number guessing game with my if statement. What I was thinking about is now that I have if statements, I can do more complex things. One thing I was thinking about was making a game, a completely programmed game. So the game would make use of a screen that looks something like this, where this is a design I got from Matt Batwings, just for anyone who wants to. I think he has a tutorial on it actually, just for anyone who wanted to know. And how this works is it's 2 by 2 pixels. So then that way your inputs are spread out, so you can actually make it stackable. And then back here, this is just a really simple coordinate grid, I guess. So let's say I want to go to 0, 1, 2, 3. So let's say I want to go to 3, and then 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go to something like here. So what if we want to go to that torch right there? Well, what I'm going to put in is I'm going to put in for my X, I'm going to put in a 4 because again it starts at 0. So I believe I did this for my 4. And then for Y we are going to put in a 3. And as you can see, it's up here. So it's a really simple concept. It just is by unlocking one column and one row at a time, it's able to just get one torch unlocked. And this way I can actually make games. So by modifying the coordinates using literally just addition and subtraction with my computer, I can actually move stuff around. So my thought for a game is I literally just have a dot on a screen, and you can move the dot by sending in, just by pressing buttons I guess, and it would send in a certain signal, and using my computer it would check what kind of signal it is. And now I have my if function, so I can say if it's this certain number or this certain signal for the input, then do this to the coordinates, and then it will display the coordinates, and then it will input it into the screen and it will show up. The main issue is this, my memory. The instructional memory is nowhere near large enough. I think I need to double this at least for the game. To just make a dot that moves around on a screen, I would need to double my instructional memory. Now, I would do that easily. The only issue is I'm running out of bits here. I don't have enough input bits to have 32 memory slots, or sorry, instructional slots. So what I would have to do is I would actually need to hook up these 8 bits here to my instruction counter to increase it. So I will be working on that. It's gonna be a little, I mean, it shouldn't be too bad, but it would just be a little annoying, just rewiring everything. So that was just kind of my display of my input and my if statement. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any suggestions on things you could do, or ideas or programs or whatever I could do or add, feel free to comment. But that's about it. Peace.